willing to take one day at a time. Good morning. Today I have the privilege of introducing a young lady that has held so many torches. Dr. Danessa Thomas is a 42-year-old career mom from Tarleton, Georgia, where she graduated from Central Elementary High School as an undergraduate in the class of 1998. She began her career at Athens Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia in 2003 and has over 19 years of experience in the healthcare industry. She was recently promoted to a Provider Resolution Senior Manager in November 2021 and has held it down since. Dr. Thomas has earned 4 college degrees despite the obstacles that she has faced. After high school, she attended Columbus State University, earning a bachelor's degree in computer information systems in 2004, a master's degree in business administration from Troy University in 2009. Oh, she ain't finished yet. Another master's degree in human resource management from Troy University in 2012. And last but definitely not least, her most recent, and the one that I think she is very much most proud of, is her doctorate degree in business administration from Walden University, which she obtained in 2021. Dr. Thomas is also an author. Yes. Where her doctoral dissertation of healthcare leadership strategies for leveraging electronic health workers was published in Walden University ScholarWorks and ProQuest Dissertation Publishing in December of 2021. And it was also published as a peer-reviewed journal article in Aspen Journal Scholarly Works Volume 2 with Aspen University in August of this year. Her future goal is to create a nonprofit organization for teens to reach their full potential by providing educational, financial, and professional assistance with emotional support. This is a personal journey for Dr. Thomas because she became a teen mother at the age of 15, where she had her son, Trey, who is now 26. And she also has a grandson by the name of Keegan. Her motto is, I never wanted to be a negative statistic, so I became a positive one. Before Dr. Thomas comes to deliver her story, we will have a few words from her best friend, our mistress of ceremony, Sister Aretha Walker.
I'm so excited, y'all. I look around and I see so many people that I invited. Thank you so much for coming. We have a special guest that's dear to my heart. When I say special and amazing, I mean it. What's so amazing about Dr. Danessa Thomas is the fact that she's my best friend.
All right.
She's an action taker. She inspires. She motivates. She's the biggest supporter that I know. And if you don't know her, then you're missing out. You're missing out on the opportunity to advance. She's the living proof that the distance between you and everything you want in life is the amount of action you take. As you listen to her story, you realize that at different stages in her life, she said yes. Even before she had it all figured out, and it paid off. She's definitely someone to look up to in life. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a massive round of applause to my best friend, Dr. Danessa Thomas.
promise not to cry today.
It's all right, baby.
Good morning. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. I would like to thank Power Missionary Baptist Church for inviting me to be a guest speaker for the Women's Day. I do have a word today. I'm not preaching, but my topic is, can I be somebody Moses and lead them out of their Egypt? My question to myself is always, what is God calling me to do?
Yeah.
Should someone else have to go through what I went through to understand my story or to understand where I came from? Overcoming obstacles as a teen mom and as a young adult was no easy feat. Again, what is God calling me to do? Exodus chapter 3:11, and Moses said unto God, who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? So speaking on my life, who am I to talk about and help someone that's in a similar situation? I'm not perfect by far. However, when God calls me to do something, it's useless to fight back. I just do what He has called me to do and for His service. In the past year, I have had 5 speaking engagements in which I have always questioned that person and myself, asking why me? No one wants to hear my story. I've always prayed about telling my story, and God always gave me the confirmation to move forward. So here I am. I'm ready to tell my story. My life story starts off as most people, born into a 2-parent home, 3 older siblings, living in the same household. I attended Central Tarleton. I was an honor roll student, played saxophone in the band, played basketball, just a normal teenager. However, my 9th grade year, my life was turned upside down. My parents separated, and I started rebelling. I started clubbing, sneaking out the Browns, and the men's club with my best friend, Fifi. Since my mom and my sister Andrea was no longer living with us. My brother TJ and I stayed in Tarleton, and my oldest brother Tran was in the military. I blamed my dad for my mom leaving, so I did everything to make him mad. It didn't help because he didn't want me to leave either. So he let me do whatever I wanted to do. The summer of '95 was one for the books. I was clubbing, called myself fall in love with my future baby daddy after he got out of YDC. So boom, August 1995, I started my sophomore year thinking how I was going to play basketball, go to all the games with the band, and then lo and behold, my cycle never came on. To make matters worse, my dad had been keeping track of it because I always asked him to buy me feminine products every month, but I did it for August. So on September 12, 1995, he took me to Dr. Wilder's office in Warren Springs to take a pregnancy test. And I found out I was 6 weeks pregnant. I was devastated and I cried like a baby. He told me don't even think about an abortion and dropped me back off at school with a red face and teary eyes. So here I am, a 15-year-old sophomore, pregnant with a baby. How did I get here? I told my son's father, he was 17 at the time, and all he could do was suck his thumb. That was typical of him. So I knew then, Nelson, you about to raise this baby on your own. So at the age of 15, I knew I was gonna have to raise my son on my own. So I just remember when I was 7 months pregnant and I had a Mickey Mouse watch that someone had given me. And my mom and I was in Walmart shopping. Back then you could return anything without a receipt. And I had not bought Trey anything. I knew I was having a boy and I was going to name him Trey after the character in Boys in the Hood. If you know the movie, then you know why I named it Trey. So I decided to return the watch and I bought Trey a car seat. I felt so responsible, and I'm glad that I did because he came 3 weeks later on April 1st, 1996, right at 8 months. He was a premature baby. So here I am, 15 years old with a baby. I
I knew that dropping out of school was not an option, so I had some tough decisions to make. Who was going to keep Trey while I was in school? I didn't have any money. How would I take care of him financially? I wasn't old enough to get a job. How would I get my homework done while taking care of a baby? So many questions. So that summer of '96, I turned 16 and got a job working at Callaway Garden, where I worked until I was 20 years old. When I went back to school my 11th grade year, I paid my great aunt little sister $20 every 2 weeks to keep Trey. My mom made sure I was 100% responsible for my son. So she would wake me up at 5 o'clock every morning to get his bottles ready and his diaper bag ready. And I had to drive to Shiloh every day to drop him off before driving the car into school. And then pick him up after I got out of school. So extracurricular activities was out of the question. He was my main priority, therefore anything pertaining to me was on the back burner. However, I maintained my grades and I was an undergraduate in the class of '98. At that time, I wasn't interested in going to college. I remember writing in my senior memory book that after high school, I wanted to find a good paying job making $8 an hour and take up a trade at a local technical school. The guy moved back in '98. $8 was a lot of money, $8 an hour. Wow, just reading this. But my plans were not of God's plans. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future." So how can I be somebody, Moses? I didn't let anything stand in my way. I went to college and I earned 4 college degrees. I've kept a job since I was 16, earning more than I could ever imagine. But it didn't come without mistakes. Motherhood didn't come with a manual, so I made a lot of mistakes along the way. Having a hatred for my son's father for over 20 years. I forgave him 2 years ago because I had to take accountability for my own actions. We're on great terms now. Being in bad relationships and Trey seeing and hearing everything at such a young age. I should have protected him better, but I always felt like I needed a boyfriend. That's another story at another time. However, once I learned my mistakes, I never made them again. As I read those 2 scriptures, Exodus 3:11 and Jeremiah 29:11, it dawned on me that God has always had a plan, a vision for my life. Again, how can I be somebody, Moses, and deliver them from their Egypt? As Moses had his butt in Exodus 4:10, "Oh my Lord, I am not eloquent, either in the past or since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and of tongue, and excuse not to speak for God because of his speech impediment. But my butt is my past. Like, who am I to lead anyone? However, as a leader, I will have to own up to my failures, face the consequences, and celebrate my achievements. I realize that I am here for a reason. I don't know who needs to hear my story, but I am willing to speak about it and no longer hide behind it. Statistics show that less than 2% of teen moms earn a college degree by the age of 30. I always said that Trey and I would never be a negative statistic. We defied the odds, and I know that if anyone has a story, you can too. And as if the Lord answered me in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain upon a table, that he may run and read it. God, I am listening, and I am ready. Thank you.